Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? It's good to see you again. This is Mr. Rodriguez. I'm going to be doing another tutorial on art supplies that you have at home that are not traditional art supplies. All right. You can call this reused art. Some people call it a version of found object art. And so this video is going to focus on some things that you have in the kitchen that you can use on your art. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start figuring out some of those things. Okay. Now, before I get started, oh wait, I'm not going to drink this. I'm going to be using coffee to do some watercolor. All right. It's going to focus this tutorial mostly on watercolor and things that you can kind of turn into watercolor in lieu of real watercolor or paint or something like that. Okay. There's a couple of different things that we're going to use. Let me start off with the coffee here. Okay. So, got my brush. Let me go ahead and angle this down. I have a little plate as a surface. You know what? Let me go ahead and sketch to go along with the original sketch I did earlier. So let me see. All right, so I got another oval like so. And then let's see. I've never experimented with coffee as a watercolor. I've never experimented with any of these. So we are definitely learning this all together in real time. All right, so here, you know what? There we go. All right, so it looks pretty light right now. Um, Let me apply it directly like so. Okay. Um, and that's looking kind of light. I'm painting on this, the inside of this box again. Hello. And it's looking pretty light. I don't know if I'm going to be too happy with this, honestly. So I might go straight to the pot on this one. So you know what? I'm going to give us a little pause here. Here, you get to look at my nice face again. Hi. I'm going to pause here and then I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. All right. So what I did was from the coffee cup itself, it's not going to be strong enough, especially since what my coffee right now that I'm using is a second brew. Um, Disclaimer, I don't believe that you should use edible food to make art. So if you are going to be doing, let's say, watercolor from coffee or something like that, make sure that it is a second brew or even a third brew. So you're not using the original coffee from the container, which hasn't been turned into the coffee ground, hasn't been turned into the drink yet. It's you want to use the coffee ground that's already moist, that someone drank their coffee from already, because you're reusing it, you're giving it kind of a second purpose instead of just dumping it into the trash or something like that. So don't use good, usable coffee for your art. Make sure that it's sort of you're giving it a second life by turning it into artwork. Because if you're using the original coffee, you're being very wasteful. That could have been somebody's morning cup or afternoon cup or evening cup, right? So what I've done is I've gotten some of the actual ground. Anyway, gotten some of the actual ground, and I don't want to show that, but I am kind of transferring it to this other page here. So it is more intense. I can kind of get an idea. All right, and so that's looking a little bit more brown. The ground will eventually dry, and then you can kind of like dust that off later. So if it's dirty looking, yeah, it's going to be dirty looking, and then, you know, whatever. You can dust it off when it's dry. So you can kind of deal with it as it is. Although, I don't know, maybe I'm being optimistic, but that's not like the worst texture that I've ever seen in art before. Can y'all see that well? I'm getting some glare. Oh, okay, now I can tell. All right, so let me go back to the grind, or the ground. Don't quote me on grammar here right now, please. All right, so that doesn't look terrible. Um, Especially for like what it is. We can dust that off later. So I'm doing kind of another oval facing the opposite direction. There are a couple of other tools that I'm going to use. Let me clean that off. Or not tools, but found stuff. So let's see. Okay. Um, there's turmeric that I've heard you can use. And then there's paprika. There we go. So let's see if that helps us. Okay. Um, okay. Now these are condiments. They are a part of the food family, right? But I think a little bit for the purposes of our video, it's not going to hurt too much. They add to the food, but they're not very like calorie rich. So it's not like we're wasting food, right? The whole point of my criticism is the wasting of the food, right? So let me apply this here, and that's kind of a nice like burnt orange color. Yes. Okay. I'm not mad at it, that's for sure. Okay, there. Let me get some more water. Can y'all see that? Okay, I think so. If you can't and I ruined the video, I apologize. All right, and actually it's almost turning like into a paste on here. Okay, so I got like that chunk right there. I'm gonna apply the rest of it like so, like this. That's not a bad color, I guess, right? And if it is, don't say nothing, all right? Let me go back to the coffee. Let's see if I can make it any darker. Do. I'm just gonna throw that on there. See if that helps. Why is it like this kind of stuff? You know, it doesn't want to show off its colors when you're trying to use it, but then if you got it on your white clothes, you would ruin the shirt, right? Like, why is that? Um, Let me see. Da da da. All right, let me clean all that off. And you know what? Let's try. That's a decent orange. I like that. Let's try the turmeric. And where do I got a corner? I guess I can use this space. Whoopsie. There we go. And this should be. Whoa. Oops. That's more than I wanted to use. There we go. All right. And okay. There we go. All right. I like this. All right. And then boom. And there we go. I like that kind of. This is more of a burnt orange. The other one was more like a red orange, right? So the other one's a lot redder. And let me see. If you don't add enough water, it'll kind of turn into a paste. So that's about as intense as it'll get, I guess, right? And then I'm just going to spread that around like so. Is that showing up well? I hope so. And I guess if you are going to use this stuff, um, a byproduct is going to be kind of the powder basically that's left, right? Um, you kind of want to make sure you stay on point when it comes to the cleanup. I'm just going to throw that on there like this, okay? And you know what? I kind of want to try something. Let me use my finger and kind of grind it in there. See, oh, but I might tear the paper up. Okay, never mind. Never mind. All right, let's do this. All right, gonna give me 1 second. I'm gonna like, I guess, clean it up a little bit. Let's see what if. Okay, we're back. All right, so just to kind of finish up, here we go. Kind of gives you an idea. So I think the paprika and the turmeric gave us kind of the strongest color right there. The coffee. Please remember it is a second brew, so it's not going to be as strong because I don't want to be wasteful with the coffee unless you do have a lot of coffee and you're willing to kind of make, I guess, like the food sacrifice of it. Now, what I can do, just so it matches my earlier sketch, I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to add to it just so it looks more finished. So at the end of the day, under these circumstances, um, you're going to use a variety of different tools. So if like one tool that you're not used to gives you some promise, but it's not like fully complete, go ahead and do some mixed media. Oh, and I tore that. That's nice. Do some mixed media, and different tools can sort of assist each other with whatever it is that you're trying to do. I guess I should wait for that to dry, huh? I'm impatient. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sure that there's other videos out there that show a lot of kind of this sort of use, but why would you go to them when you can always come to me? Yes? All right. So continue to experiment. We're going to keep working on this together. Come back to me. There we go. Hello. All right. Um, Stay strong, stay smart, stay clean. That's a number one. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope this is helpful to you. And if not, then I guess continue to experiment, my students. All right. Take care.